Welcome to MCN and welcome to the launch of Triumph's new Daytona 660. So let's get this out of the way straight away. This is not a hardcore supersport bike. It's not built to go up against the likes of Honda's CBR 600RR or Kawasaki ZX6 or even be an imitation of the old Daytona 675. It's something new. It's built for the sub 10 grand, sub 100 horsepower sports bike sector. So think of it up against the likes of Aprilia's RS660, Suzuki's GSX-8R, Yamaha's R7, Kawasaki's Ninja 650, and maybe even Kawasaki's ZX4RR. There's a whole host of bikes, and it's a really exciting class because they're affordable, they're comfortable, they're great on the road, and Triumph entered and brought a different flavour with a first triple. So we've been running it today, and I'm going to break it down a little bit because it wasn't quite what I was expecting. So we're going to start with the engine. So it's 660cc triple. It's the motor from the Trident, but it's been heavily reworked. So I've got a list of all the changes here. So it's now got 3 throttle bodies instead of 1. It's got a larger airbox, a new crankshaft, which gives increased inertia. It's got new pistons, new cylinder head, a revised exhaust, updated gearbox and bespoke gear ratios, and a new slip and assist clutch. Now, Triumph did say that it is the fastest accelerating against all its rivals, but didn't see a RS660 graph in there, so I'm not sure if it can beat that. But after running it today, the engine is the gem of this bike. I've ridden all of the competition over the past 4 or 5 months, and this is my favourite motor in the class. So it makes 93 brake horsepower and 51 foot-pound of torque. But the thing I like about it is it brings another level of excitement. It's really exciting to pick up and use, and it just sings the whole way through the rev range. It makes 80% of its torque from 3,000 RPM onwards, and you really feel that. It just sings the whole way through, and it loves to be revved. In honesty, it's happiest when it's pinging against the red line, which is now 1,000 RPM higher as well. And when you do, it's got an absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. It sounds like a proper Triumph. It really is a majestic thing, and it feels more than fast enough on the roads. Like, that amount of power is just absolutely perfect because you can get the most out of it. You can really wring its neck, and you're not doing sort of silly license losing speeds. Now, it's got a 14-litre tank. We did about 100 miles before the light came on today, so it's quite thirsty, but it does do the job. And one thing I did have to note about this is the gearbox isn't the slickest in the world, so this doesn't come with a quick shifter and an auto clipper as standard. That is an optional extra, which will cost £316, plus a fitting kit, which is going to be about 40 or 50 quid. It's yet to be confirmed. And you have got to be quite positive through the gears and do get the odd false neutral, but it's not anything that would deter me from buying it. What everyone wants to know, what I wanted to know, having ridden everything else, I was on the GSX-8R launch last month, and I was really impressed with how such little changes made such a drastic difference. And I have to say, I was a little bit underwhelmed with how this bike felt in terms of handling. It didn't feel like a Daytona or a street triple. It didn't have that crisp front end feeling that I've come to expect from pretty much every modern Triumph. I can't remember the last time I got on one and felt this underwhelmed by its handling capabilities. Now, it uses the Trident chassis, which is a great chassis. It's got altered geometry, so it's got steeper rake and trail. It's got a few other little tweaks to accommodate for the engine changes. And it's been given a set of shower separate function big piston forks. Now, the eagle-eyed viewers among you will probably notice that they look a bit similar. They're the same as used on quite a few of its rivals, like the GSX-8R. But on this, it feels very soft. So as a start, it feels very neutral as a riding position. It almost feels like it's not enough weight over the front end. So the initial jump through the stroke is quite heavy. When you hit the brakes, which have got quite a bit of power and quite a bit of bite, it really crashes through the stroke, and you have to get the front wheel loaded to get it turning. I almost wondered if the front tyre was under pressure, as it's quite a pain to change direction. It was nowhere near as agile and sporty as I was expecting it to be. It just feels quite long and quite low. It feels like it's sort of sitting on its rear a bit too much. And that's made worse by the rear shock, which feels underdamped as well. It just feels like, especially as soon as you touch the throttle, it just sits down and just sort of understeers a little bit. I was really surprised by it, to be honest. At lunchtime, we put 3 clicks of preload on. It's the only thing you can change on the suspension. And it did help just to pick it up a bit, but it sort of just masked the issue. And it's a bit disappointing, actually, because it's not the sweetest handling bike in the segment. But saying that, it is comfortable. It can handle bumps and speed bumps and stuff reasonably well, so for UK roads, slower speeds, it'll be all right. But if you want to ride it a bit harder, I do think there are better bikes for the job. Talking of which, we've got to talk about the price. So this is $8,595, which is incredible. It pretty much undercuts most of its main rivals, but it is quite basic electronically. It comes with 3 rider modes, and the traction control and ABS are both basic systems. You can turn the traction control off, but there's no IMU wizardry, there's no quick shifter or auto blipper as standard. As I mentioned, that is an optional extra. So if you put that on, it then bumps up the price as well. So it'd be similar to the 8R in terms of price. Overall, it is a nice road bike. The engine is amazing, it's comfortable, the mirrors work well, the brakes are good. It just lacks that aggression compared to some of its rivals. If you want something that's softer, this is a brilliant machine, and the engine is just sublime. However, if you want something that's a bit more hardcore, a bit more focused, there are better bikes out there. Stay tuned, because we'll be doing a full group test of all of these bikes. We're really excited to do it, so hopefully we're bringing you that in summer. But in the meantime, like and subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments below.